They're the most useless shower. You know, you'd be better off having kids run it because they haven't a clue.
Hey, what's up everybody? It's Ben Scallon here with Gript Media, and we're here at this second tractor protest in Dublin, and we're just going to be asking people what they think of the upcoming general election and what brought them out here today. What brings you out here today?
Basically, a number of issues. I suppose the first issue would be the price of beef that we're producing at below cost price.
We're here for justice, and like we say, to save our family farms in rural Ireland. And rural Ireland is our theme, and to save our suckler cow and our beef industry.
There's no increase in payment. It's just like a small farmer doesn't get any say at all anymore. For carbon emissions, blah, blah, blah. But when times were rough here 10 years ago, it was the farming community that kept things going here.
The problems we had last time and before Christmas haven't really changed. The price of beef hasn't changed, and since then now there's another problem with carbon taxes going on into the future.
So if this carbon tax comes in the way Fine Gael and Bruton wants it to come in, it won't matter what price the beef is, because it'll be game over for rural Ireland.
The Dáil doesn't care. The sooner that the beef farmers are bust and gone and plant their land with trees like they gave an undertaking to Europe, because they want to use them as their carbon credits because of all the big tech they're bringing in, gobbling up power and no carbon credits to offset it. So they don't mind putting us out to pasture.
Because nothing has changed as regards any progress or any bit of common sense being used around the situation that we are in rural Ireland.
Rural Ireland is just dead and gone, and no one cares about. Once it goes beyond the 50, the minister and nobody cares about rural Ireland anymore.
What do you think of the EU South America beef deal? Do you have any specific thoughts on that?
Well, there's a number of large threats coming down the direction of farming families at the moment, and it's interesting that, you know, again, Fine Gael are happy to support that European trust for the Mercosur deal, and that Mercosur deal is a radical threat to farmers in Ireland. It's going to introduce, you know, hundreds of thousands of tons of beef at a price below the cost of production here in Ireland, and it's going to do so at a massive cost to the environment. So for all of the greenwash that Leo talks about, in the end of the day, he's happy to put farmers out of business here and also damage the environment with regards to the Mercosur deal.
It's an absolute disaster. The only people that are benefiting from that are the Germans. They're going to send in a load of BMWs into Brazil, and they're the only one profiting off that. It's no good deal for the farmers. It's the Germans getting their way again.
We're talking about having carbon credits here and carbon friendly. Over there in Brazil, they're cutting all the forests out to produce extra beef. It's ridiculous. They're no way carbon friendly. We are, and we're not appreciated for it.
That South American deal shouldn't have gone through anyway. We have enough beef in this country as it is.
And I think our government has to be ashamed of allowing this to happen.
How do you feel about the government at the moment and the upcoming election?
I can't stand them. They're the most useless shower. You know, you'd be better off having kids run it because they haven't a clue. They're all for themselves, lining their pockets, and all they care about is looking good and taking the money.
At the moment, Mr. Creed did not represent the farmers of Ireland. He was, I'd say, in my time, like we say, had been the worst minister for agriculture ever we had.
I suppose there's independents up there like that are supporting rural Ireland, but Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil are just spending over to the EU, and they're not doing anything for rural Ireland really. They're just on their knees and doing whatever they're being told to do.
I would hope that in the next government, when it comes in, that we will get a separate minister that will deal with rural Ireland, with the mental health issues that's in rural Ireland. I think the more independent people we get there, maybe we'd have a better fight, and that we would get a new portfolio put together, that there be a new minister for rural Ireland put in place.